Okay. Okay, good. So we are talking about solution. So solution, what is solution? So first of all, if you remember that in order to go to customization, what we go there, how we go there, we go to settings, click settings, we go to customization, and then we see customize the system, we see solution, we see themes, we see publisher, we see developer resources. So we click on customize the system, and then we will be able to see all the entities, and then from entities we will be able to customize the entities, right? So we have entities, we have option sets, client extension, web resources, etc, etc. So we go to entities, we see all the entities, and whatever the entities we need to customize, we go there and we customize it. But what is solution then? So to solution, let's read some text. A solution, just one second, let me. Solution is very, very important. Okay, all of them. I mean, what I'm discussing, these are nothing but important. These are all important. Solution is very important in a sense that let me give you some background as well, because otherwise you will not understand what does it mean solution. Um, Solution is something when you customize or develop, okay, develop for crm. As example, in when you will work for a software development company, that software development company will sell crm to a customer, right, to a client. Now that client, we will have live crm. Okay, so live crm. So that live crm is called production crm. Okay, now there are other crm as well they will have. One is uat crm, another one is test crm, another also. Let me write it down so that you can then I will delete this. So basically, you see here, first of all, there are different not different types, different options of CRM, or different set of CRM a client will have. So there are total 4 CRMs normally. Okay, normally there are 4 CRMs. One is Dev CRM, then you have UAT CRM. Okay, no, sorry, Test CRM. Then you have UAT CRM. Then you have live or production CRM. Now, what is means dev, test, UAT, and live? This is the system development life cycle. If you remember that in your course, in BSc course, you have learned system development life cycle. So in that system development life cycle, we have also discussed the system requirements. Then we have system analysis. Then we have system design. Then you have system implementation. Then we have system deployment. So this is the different stages of system we actually implement or use these different types of crm. So what is dev crm? Dev crm means it belongs to dev crm, okay, belongs to software company. Okay, so what they do is they take the requirements from the customer and develop the crm. Everything they do is in their dev environment. Okay, so when they developed everything, okay, or part by part, what they do is they go to test crm, which is belongs to customer. Okay, belongs to client. So belongs to client. So what they do is they everything when they tested, they deployed it. They developed it. They deployed to dev environment. Okay, the CRM. Then it is working. So when it is working, then they deploy it to test environment of the client CRM. So and then client is informed. Then what client does? Client test it to check that whether the particular function is working or not. When it is done, so the client say yes, it is working, it's perfect. So what they do is they ask software company to deploy it to UAT environment. So UAT is just a copy of live. What does it mean, copy of live? In case something goes wrong, then they can just simply copy and paste UAT environment to live, so that there is no interruption of the live environments. For example, anything might happen with the live environment. So they can simply deploy it within the very short time. So exactly what it is in live, they keep it alternative option of live is called UAT. Okay, so this one also belongs to client. Okay, so that belongs to client as well. So they just keep copy of live. So they already know that the particular function is working in test. So what they do is they ask to deploy in UAT and live. So this is the same time, at the same time uh, that function deployed to live and UAT. And then when it is deployed to live, I mean the client environment is always live, so it means it is running, up and running. So as soon as it will be deployed, straight away from that moment of deployment, the function will work. Okay, but before that you can see how many times it is tested. First of all, it is tested within the organization, software development company. If it is working, then they notify client, then client notify back to software development company to deploy it. Software development company deploy it to test, client verifies it is fine, it is running, then client asks, okay, deploy it to UAT and live. So this is how it is worked. Now, so this is the different environments of CRM, okay, which is needed in order to deploy a particular solution. Now, what is solution? A solution is a bucket where all the customization components of a particular project are stored. Solution is a bucket. Really, it is a bucket which can contain. It doesn't have a limitation. It can contain everything, one solution, or you can have a separate solution which can contain everything. So it is a bucket where the all customization what you have learned until so far, until the last time what we've seen, that what you do in customization, everything you need to put it back in the solution. Then when you put it back in that, put that customization, you need to put that in a bucket which is called solution. Then that solution, what you have to do is, you can see, if I go back to the solution, you will be able to see something. You will be able to see export. Okay, so these are all different solution, and you can see here export. So you have to export. Now, what does it mean export? And there is also an import. Now, what is export and import here? So if we go back to our design, what we said here, that dev, test, and say example live. So when something is developed and deployed to dev environment and it is tested, which is fine, which is working up and running, so that particular customization need to be put in a solution of dev environment. That solution from that dev environment need to go here to export. So we need to export. We just need to, say example, select the solution, and then we need to click export. We will export it. Okay, we will export it, and then export it where? Export it to the system, to my laptop, wherever, to the server. Okay, export it to the server, and that from that same server, or from different server, could be bring it back into test environment. Okay, and how would you bring it back? Using this import solution. Okay, so you need to import that solution, and that's it. So this is how basically from different environment, from dev environment, how you bring customization or development into test, from test when it is tested by the client, and then the same way the solution need to be exported from test environment and need to be imported into live environment. Okay, and this is how this customization and development will work in dynamic CRM. Okay, so uh, so solution is a bucket where all the customization components of a particular project are stored. Creating a solution helps in moving these components from one environment to another. See, so this is exactly what I've just explained. So creating a solution will help you to move your customization from one environment to another environment. There are three different types of solution: default, managed, and unmanaged. And this is very, very important to know what is, and this is very important for your interview as well. In the every interview, even after 5 years of experience of working in dynamic CRM, if you move to another organization after 5 years of working in dynamic CRM, still they will ask you this question: what is managed solution, what is unmanaged solution, and what is default solution. So you can write it down as a 100% guarantee that this question will be asked in any Dynamics CRM interview. And that is why it is important. Now, what does it mean, this default solution, unmanaged solution, and managed solution? Now, default solution, the out-of-the-box Microsoft Dynamics CRM software, as well as the pre-deployment customizations are part of the default solution. You can access the default solution by navigating to settings, customization, and customize the system. So what does it mean, default solution? Let's see what does it mean, default solution. Now, what it is said here again, back, if we go back here, the out-of-the-box Microsoft Dynamics CRM software as well as the pre-deployment customization are part of the default solution. So we have, say example here, this is our trial CRM, right? Now in this trial CRM we haven't done, because the current one you are seeing, this one today I have subscribed or created. You can see here that your Dynamics 365 trial will expire in 30 days. So just 1 month free. So I have just created today. So it started today. So I haven't done anything yet. Okay, so I have created for you because my previous one has expired. So in this CRM, what I have by default or out of the box, okay, this customization, what I have, if I go to now sales, and I can see accounts, and in accounts I have, if I go to all active accounts, right? So if I go to active accounts, so you can see that there are already 140 accounts are available. So who entered this account? So this is Microsoft. Microsoft have entered this information. So by default, what I have in Dynamics CRM, that is called out of the box solution or customization. And because we haven't anything customized yet, so, and we haven't deployed anything yet, so it's called pre-deployment customization. So out of the box Microsoft Dynamics CRM software, as well as pre-deployment, until you haven't customized anything. So that part is called, that everything belongs to default solution. Now how do you see default solution? In order to default solution, we need to go here, we need to go to settings, then we have to, either you can go to here save solution, or you can go to, but in order, the best option is you need to go to customization and then customize the system. And you can see here solution is called default solution. So as I have told you always, that in order to change anything, in order to customize anything, you have to come here and change here, and then only the change will be implemented. So where would you do this change? You have to do this in default solution, because default solution is the out of the box bucket where you have to do your customization, export it, and then import back to another environment, right? So this is basically what is default solution. Now so this is the picture of default solution. Where would you find? So you can see here solution is called default solution. So now what is unmanaged and managed solution? Let's read it. The beginning unmanaged solution, the beginning state of solution is the unmanaged solution state. So before you have done anything, okay, that stage or that step, basically that solution is called default. But until you have changed anything, okay, that stage also is called unmanaged. Okay, so the beginning state, okay, there is a nothing but state of the solution is called unmanaged solution. During this phase, you can add, edit, update, remove, delete. There are two states of the default solution. In this way, it would be better to explain. Default solution can be divided into two states. One state is unmanaged solution, which is before customizing, and one is managed solution, which is after customizing. So the beginning state of solution is the unmanaged solution, and during this state you can add and when you are in unmanaged solution, you can add, you can customize, you can edit, you can update, you can remove, you can delete, you can test and do whatever you want. Okay, that state is called unmanaged solution. you also have the ability to create restrictions on the components within the solution. Okay, now within unmanaged solution, you can also, using security, you can also change some security, and you can put some restriction on the different components as who needs to access what, right? So that can be done. Any number of these unmanaged solution, customized solution components can be associated with any number of unmanaged solution. Any number of these unmanaged customized solution components can be associated with any number of unmanaged solution. Basically, within the default solution, any customization, okay, can be related to any other customization within the same default solution, okay, but there can be different unmanaged solution within the same solution. Now, what is managed solution? I will give you example. I mean, when we will work, when I will show you the, how what is unmanaged solution in the CRM itself, then you will understand better. But you also need to understand the theory as well. Now, what is managed solution? A managed solution is a finalized solution that can be distributed and installed. They are created by exporting an unmanaged solution by setting restrictions to prevent any further customization. They are installed in addition to the system solution. They can also be layered on top of the other managed solution as well. The unrestricted components of the solution are still customizable. So basically, managed solution is nothing but when you deploy a solution from one environment to another environment, and particularly from dev environment to production environment, then in the production environment, if you deploy it as managed solution, then in production environment you cannot do any change. But if you export it as unmanaged solution, it means, as we have said, that during this stage you can add, edit, update, remove, delete, and test. So when you export a solution as unmanaged solution from dev to live or production environment, you can do change in live environment as well. But if you export a solution as a managed solution from dev to production environment, then what will happen is you would not be able to change in live environment. Okay, so that is the major difference. So if you don't want to change anything, then you export it as managed solution. In case, what will happen is normally we export as unmanaged solution. Why? The reason is that in case you need to change in the live environment, for slight, small things you have to change, and in live environment, right? So in that case, you keep it unmanaged so that you can still change whatever you want. Okay, but if you say example something, if you have exported the solution as a managed solution, but then you have identified that something is not working, then you have to change it back. Then what will happen is you would not be able to change it back because of managed solution. So that is the major difference of unmanaged and managed solution. But I will show you now this solution example of unmanaged and managed. But before that, I also need to just go through with you this particular solution components, what a solution contains. Okay, a bucket, what a bucket contains. So a bucket of a solution contains entities. So as you can see here, that if we go back here, so if I go here, so this is the bucket. So this is the bucket of default solution. So what we have here, entities, options. So what we see here, this is the components of default solution. So this is what exactly written here: entities, attributes, relationships, global option sets, dashboards, reports, right? Virtualizations, application ribbons, sitemap, forms. So all of these are here already. Okay, so these are components, all of these: reports, dashboards, right? Connection roles, email templates, security roles, SLAs, okay, apps, client extensions. All of these are components of default solution. So this is what is called solution. Now let's work on a solution, otherwise you will not actually have a clear picture that how this solution works. So let's go back to, rather than working in default solution, we want to create a new solution and we want to export it. Okay, and export that. So let's do that. So click here, solution, And as you can see here, at the moment, the by default view is all solution. But as you remember, we have seen these, I have discussed this before, that different there are the view you can change. You can see here all solution if you want to see, or if you want to see only managed solution. So these are all managed solution, okay. Or if you want to see only unmanaged solution, then you can see there is no unmanaged solution, because this is only today it was created and I haven't changed anything. So there would not be anything unmanaged, right? So there will be so far managed solution and a managed solution only, because if we go back to see here 14 managed solution. Now if I go back to all solution, there will be also 14, because there is no unmanaged solution. So all solution views shows you all managed and unmanaged, and because there is no unmanaged, so these are all managed solution. Okay. Okay, so yeah, yeah, change it. Mhm. You can. Where? In live or in dev? Or in here? In here, you will be able to change it. I'm saying that when you export it and import it in live, okay, then you will not be able to change it anything. See here, at the moment, these are all managed solution, right? Now the correct way of doing any customization is, let me show you. The correct way of doing any customization is, you need to click a new. I'm creating a new solution, okay. So I'm creating a new, and then say example, you enter a name, display name, etc., etc., you save it, and then that solution becomes unmanaged solution. Try to understand. You see here, so I'm creating a new one, and then I will add a name here, right? I will fill up this all the mandatory things, then I will save it, and as soon as I will save it, that becomes unmanaged solution. And then when you have unmanaged solution, then what you have to do, you can do all this customization in your components, and now this solution will have a copy of default solution anyway. Okay, so this is the original way. No problem. Hmm. Mhm. Yes, exactly. Yes. So when you will do any customization, okay, everything will be saved in a new solution, which is an unmanaged solution. That unmanaged solution, you have to export as an unmanaged solution in the live environment, so that in case there is a need of change, you can change it. But in case that is imported as managed solution, then you would not be able to change anything. Hello, hello, yeah, how are you? I'm fine, you? Okay, 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 good. No, no, no problem, no problem. We have recorded anyway, so you would not miss anything. Okay. So is it clear, Ruthira? Okay, okay. So now let's see. Now we will create a new solution. We will create a new solution, and you can see here, as soon as I have created a new solution, what you can see here, all the components of default solution or any managed see now what is managed solution here. Now if you see here that, okay, what are these managed solution? One thing you are actually confused, I think. I think you are confused in a sense that you can see here all managed solution, but what the question you are asking is, when I'm doing any customization, am I doing in this managed solution? No, you are not working in managed solution, you are working in default solution. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you are saying that, Jahid, how would I be able to change it when these are solution are managed, right? But these are managed solution for different purposes. Say example here, one is one has been brought as it is called trial based solution, trial of field service, project service automation. We don't know what is here. Okay, so we are not talking about this. When you are actually working in this CRM, you are actually working in a default solution. Okay, now in default solution, that is currently at a state of unmanaged, not in managed. Managed you cannot change. Here you cannot change all of these managed solution, 14 managed solution, you cannot change. But what you can change is default solution, which is in currently at unmanaged state, that you can change. Okay. Yep. Live. Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes. No, everything will be uploaded. Everything. What you will bring, say example from, see, solution is a bucket. Okay. So solution is a bucket. So what will happen is, in a bucket, you will put one apple, one orange, one onion, one potato, one rice, etc., etc. So what you will put in that bucket, everything will be brought into live environment and will be replaced. Okay. And will be replaced. Okay. Yes. Yes. Should not understand. Yes. So yeah, Jolanta, so basically what we have so far discussed is we are talking about, we last week we discussed about customization. And customization was nothing but that in Dynamics CRM, everything what you do, customize anything you customize. Okay, how to customize, where to customize, that we have seen last week, right? So that was basically going to settings, going to customization, and then click customize the system, and we could see all the entities and different elements or components, right? And then last week what also we have seen, that by going to entities, also opened account or contact entity, right? And then from contact or account entity, we have also customized or created different fields, right? So that was customization. Now today we are talking about solution. Now solution is also under settings here. Rather than going to customize the system, this solution is here. Now what is solution? Solution is a bucket where all the customization components of a particular project are stored. Creating a solution helps in moving these components from one environment to another. So basically everything what you will customize in this particular CRM, what you will customize, you need to put a solution, and that solution, okay, will have two state. One is unmanaged state, when you can customize everything, still you can customize, or before customizing, that state is called unmanaged solution. And when you actually take that solution, say example, currently we are working in this CRM, but this is a trial version. Now today, say example, I also discussed with Ruthira, that there are different environments exist in the real time. Okay, in the real time, different environments. For example, we have dev environment, we have test environment, we have UAT environment, and we have live environment. Okay, so when your software development company will sell a CRM to a client, so there will be 4 different types of environment. So live is the live CRM, what the client is using 24/7. Test and UAT also will belong to client. They have to buy this. Basically, the client will have to pay for all these test, UAT, and live CRM environments. But dev is the environment which will belongs to software development company. So in dev environment, this is the CRM environment. CRM environment. This is nothing. This is only CRM environment. Okay. But why we have so many different types and why we have named differently? Because when the live one, we don't want to disturb or stop it when something is something we are developing behind in the background. So we want to keep live the system. So the user will be using the live system, and in the background all the different deployments throughout the year. Because always remember that when you develop a website and if you sell that website to a customer will ask, okay, can I change this color, can I add this, can I add that, can I do that, can I do this? So but in order to do these changes, you will not stop your website and then do the changes and put it back again on live. You will not do that. The website will be running all the time, but in the background everything will be developed, tested, and then when it will be done, then they will be deployed, and then immediately as soon as it will be deployed, from that moment it will be up and running. So the dev environment belongs to software development company who develop the customize everything, put it in a bucket which is called a solution. That solution from dev environment need to export. There is an option in solution called exporting. I will show you here. You can see here export and import. Okay, so these are all solution here, by default all solution. So these solution need to be exported from dev environment, which is here, from dev environment from software development company, and they will put it, when it is working they will export that solution, and in the test environment they will import it. They will import it using this option, imports the solution. They will import the solution and then they will test it. If it is working, then the client will say, okay, deploy it to UAT environment. Now what is UAT environment? UAT environment is the copy of live environment. So if in case something goes live, say example hacker destroyed the live environment suddenly, okay, or something they have done with the live environment. So what client can do immediately, they can simply make UAT live. Okay, because UAT will be in the another server. If the client is very rich client, say example all the big organizations, say example Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, all the banks, okay, all these organizations, they have all these three environments. And it is very, very important for you to understand these different environments, because when you will go and work for an organization, software development company, they will ask, okay, now Jolanta, we have developed something in dev environment, can you please put it in live now, or put it in test, or put it in UAT? Then you will say, oh my god, what is test, what is UAT, what is live, I don't know. So you have to know this, what is test environment, what is UAT environment, what does it mean, and when you have to deploy in these different environments. So again, I'm just quickly reviewing this. Dev environment belongs to software development company who will be testing, developing everything in dev environment. When they are working fine, those solutions, those customizations are working fine, they are deployed to test environment of the client server, and they will be tested here before it goes to live. Client will test it here, and if the client say yes, it is fine, then client will ask you again to put it in live and UAT. So then you will deploy it or export that solution from test to UAT and live at the same time. And then UAT and live, you have to import that solution. Okay, so this is basically how it works. So what I'm saying now, yeah, yeah. uh, yes, user acceptance test. Yeah, user acceptance test. Test is simply, it's a just test environment where it is tested, right? Everything is tested. Here what it does is basically, if a client is enough rich or enough interested to have to have enough, to spend enough money to the system, so what they will do, the client means who you have sold the CRM, they will test it here in the test environment, Then they will ask users, who are the users. Users means who will be using the system. Okay. So, for example, let me tell you, I think it's a bit complicated. See, Dev, let me write it down here. Dev uh, belongs uh, belongs to a software company. Okay, the test uh, belongs to client, but client here means the IT developer of that client. Okay, this is what I wanted to mention to you, that IT developer of that client is testing whether that functionality what software development company has brought or imported is working or not. So he will test it is here in test environment. Then when he will say okay it is working, and you will say okay developer of the software company, can you please deploy it to UAT and live. So the software company will deploy it to now UAT and live. Then UAT belongs to client, but the user, general user, okay, general user, it could be customer, like Tesco, customer of a Tesco, right? Or a general staff, or who works in the who does shelving, who does in the till machine, who works. So they okay, general customer and general user. So they will test the system here in UAT. So when they will test and they will say okay it is working fine in UAT, they will give feedback back to IT developer. Okay, the system, the everything functionality is working. Then what IT developer will do, IT developer will ask again software development company, can you please now deploy it to live. And then software development company will deploy it to live. So this is the process. You need to understand this process. Is it clear now? Okay. Okay. Okay, so this process is very important, because what will happen again when you will go to the organization, they will not explain this to you. They will just simply say, okay, your job, you are working in this software development company. So one of the manager will ask you, can you please communicate with the client and deploy it wherever it is necessary. That's it. And then you will communicate with the IT developer of the client organization, will deploy it to test, then from test to UAT, from UAT to live, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is basically very important to know. Okay, now let's go back to solution. So basically everything what we see here now at the moment, everything what we see by default, okay, by default all of these entity, sales, service, marketing, field service, project service, all of these modules and all of these sub modules, okay, or entities, what you see here, everything we have in default solution settings. And then go customization. If you go to customization, uh, where is customization here? So you go to customization. If you open customization, you will see there is a default solution. You can see here solution is called default solution. So all of these entities and all of this part are default solution. Now at the moment, currently, before customizing or during customization, the state of the solution is called unmanaged solution. But when you have customized, saved, and exported as when you want to export it for to live or any other environment, you can export it as unmanaged solution, or you can export it as managed solution. So if you export it as unmanaged solution, it means that you can still change it in the destination environment, or if you export it as managed solution, you would not be able to change it. So that is the main difference between unmanaged and managed. So now so this is the default solution. The out of the box Microsoft Dynamics CRM software as well as pre-deployment customization is called default solution. Unmanaged solution, managed solution, I've just explained. So you have to remember one thing: unmanaged solution you can customize it, managed solution you cannot customize it. Okay, so that is the major difference. There are other major differences also you will see, but that you will see when we'll work on the solution. Solution components. So there are others. We have the components. What you see here, what you see here in default solution. So these are called components: entities, option sets, client extension, web resources, etc. All of these called components of default solution. Now all of these components are around the CRM. Whatever you see, these are everything here. Okay, so and then you come here, then you customize it. Okay, and then you export it. Here you can see here, so you customize it and then you can export, or also you can actually export the default solution. This is another interesting point here. I have to tell you that, say example, you are actually deploying from dev environment to live environment a major solution. What is called major solution? Major solution means so many changes you made, so many components are there. Okay, a big solution which will have so many entities, so many changes, so many customization are there. So you want to change, you want to export that solution, bring it back into the live. So when you export, you want to do that and bring it back into the live, then what will happen that it sometime, if you are not 100% sure that what that solution contains, then what will happen is when you will bring that solution in the live environment, that solution can break down the live environment. Now if that breaks down live environment, means something did not did not match. Okay, did not match or did not find anything. Say example, you brought something, a component, but the other component in the live, that component is missing somehow user, the client user has deleted that component, and you did not, you expected that that part is there. So you brought one part of that component and expecting that the other part of the component is already there in the live environment, but you were not told from the client that that one of the user of the client has deleted that component. Okay, you are not told. So what will happen is now you are bringing a major solution to the live environment, and then that breaks the whole environment. The live environment is broken down, is down now at the moment, is not running. Then what will happen? Where is the backup? Okay, backup is UAT. I have already told you backup is already UAT, but UAT is a backup, but in addition to that backup, also it is always good to have a backup of a backup solution of the live environment, and that is here. So you have a default solution. Say example, assume this is your live environment and you have a default solution of that live environment. So what you can do is simply you can click export solution and export that default solution. Export means export it to the server, right, and take it as a backup in case something goes wrong. So something you want to bring something here goes wrong, and then the system is not running. So then what you can do is you can go to solution, you can go to solution, and then you can actually bring back the default solution. You can import the default solution what you have just exported. Then your system will run again, and your live environment is backed up and running. So this is very important that you always keep a backup of your default solution as well. Okay, if even though if you have still UAT environment, but still make sure that you have also a backup. If you have a UAT environment, you don't need to, but some client, what will happen is some client, they don't have UAT environment. Okay, so it is always, then in that case, take a backup of default solution is important, is important than ever. Okay, so this is what is about solution. So now let's start creating a solution of trial environment basically. Yep. Backup solution of live or UAT you are saying? Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. No, very good question. I liked it. Very good question. So when client will work on the live environment, if they bring any data or if they update any data or anything they update in the live, what they have to do is they have to tell software development company, or if they know how to update in UAT, either they will do it or they will ask software development company to update it in the UAT environment. Yes, they have to tell that. And when they will tell, yes, when they will tell, if, even say example, if the software development if the client has their own IT developer, then he or she will know that we are changing in live environment. So what they will do is they will take that data from live, export it and bring it back into UAT. Yeah. And this is the same way, they will import it in the UAT, and they will export from the live. Yeah. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll create a new solution. We will see how to create a solution because this is very, very important. Okay, so this is the new window of creating a new solution. Now, why, first of all, the question is why you need to create a new solution as a developer. The reason is it is always suggested that rather than doing customization from customize the system option, it is always, because you will be working as a developer, so the best option of doing any changes or customization or development is to create a new solution and then do the changes in here and then bring that solution into live environment, or export that solution from dev and bring it into live. So it is always suggested you create a new solution. Say example, Ruthira is a developer. He is working for the same client, and Julanta is also a developer and she is working for the same client for the same CRM system. And both of you you are working for the same entities. Now one is changing the fields, another one is changing the coding, but for the same entities. So what will happen is if you do the changes at the same time, what will happen without creating a solution, it will break. Simply it will break. Okay, because at the same time you are working on the same entities without creating a solution. So basically it may break. It will not, I'm saying it will not break, but if you do any because the job has to be separated, you cannot work on the same time at the same thing. So what we'll do is basically Jolanta will create a new solution and Ruthira will create a new solution, and then both of them will work on the same entities but different part of the entities. Then when you will merge, then it will work nicely. They will communicate nicely. They will connect automatically, and then they will work. So this is the reason of always it is best way to work. So basically, we have opened a new solution. You give it a name. Say example, demo solution. Okay, so that is the display name. So we have at the moment default solution, or the solution name here. You can see here name, you can see. Let me show you here. See here, the name of the solution is called Field Service Demo Auto Move, but you can see here there is no space between these words, but display name has spaces. So this is the display name. Actually I'm adding here demo solution with spaces. This is the display name. So I have added a name. So that's the name, that's the display name I have created here, not this one, not name. Okay, I've created this one. So this demo solution I have given name. So now you just click once in name, and you see here demo solution without a space now appears here. So this name is actually this one without spaces. Then you go to publisher. In publisher, what is publisher? Publisher means, say example, publisher is also very important. Say example that you have already deployed a system, a CRM system to a client. Now client also knows how to customize and you also know how to customize. So now client does some customization and client is asking you to do some other customization, complex customization they are asking you to do, and they are doing easy one. So later on, after 1 month, customer is asking, hey, you know what, I didn't do this customization and I want to change this change. I don't want to see this, I want to change this, and I we didn't do this change. Then how, as a developer, how would you know who did this change, whether it is you or whether it is a client? So in that case, that who did this change, who developed this particular part of this change, then you have to have a publisher. Means whether it is a publisher means whether it is a your organization or whether it is a client organization. So in that sense, we have to have a publisher. So we will see at the moment we have a default publisher because it's a trial one, and I have accessed as a this one, my ID Adina Ltd, Adina Limited. This is my organization name. Okay, so this is my organization name. So when I created my trial CRM, it's automatically created a by default publisher. So that's the publisher is here. But if you want to create another publisher for the client so that later on they would not ask, okay, we didn't do this, so you can catch them and say, hey, you did this, not we. Okay, so you can carry on working on your own. We don't take any responsibility of your customization. So in that case, you can open lookup and you can create a new one. Okay, so let's create a new publisher. So publisher Adina Limited is by default our software development company's ID. Okay, so we don't have to create a separate one. We can create if you want to. If you want to have a 2-3 publisher, you can do, but normally it is not suggested, because if there are 10 developers, they are working for the same company, then one publisher should be there. You don't have to have 10 publisher for different developers. Okay, because all 10 developers belongs to same organization, and everybody should take responsibility as an organization, not as individually. So display name, so this publisher you are creating for the client, so it would be say example for Tesco. Okay, so Tesco is the display okay, is the name of the publisher. So you click name, it automatically comes here, Tesco Limited. Say Tesco Limited, Tesco Limited. So you click here, because okay, let me delete it. Okay, Tesco Limited. Okay, so again I'm typing because it did not turn up as a proper name. Okay, because once I've changed it, so it doesn't come next time, so I have to write it manually, Limited, or I have to save it, then it will come. Okay, so name is there. Now you see here prefix. So this is how do you know that this is belongs to Tesco Limited. So for Tesco Limited, you have to put a prefix here too. So Tesco. Okay, so Tesco is there, value prefix 10,000. So this is by default, you can change it, you can put any other number. This is just to this code is used, this number is used in the code, so you can keep it as it is. Okay, or it is always suggested to use this kind of 10000, 10001, 10002. So this kind of prefix. Okay, so this is fine, so this is fine, so I'm saving it. Now you can see here Tesco. You see here Tesco entity. Okay, so this is the publisher name. So save and close. Okay, save and close. Add. Okay, now you can see Tesco Limited. Who is the publisher? Say, so now if Tesco, you have sold this CRM to Tesco, and if they want to customize anything, they have to create a solution, they have to give a name, and they will have to choose this Tesco Limited. They will not have access to, they will not be able to see default publisher. Okay, because default publisher we will be able to only we will be able to see as a developer, and as a developer we also will be able to see Tesco Limited, but the IT developer of Tesco Limited, they will not be able to see default publisher. So so they will not be able to see, even they will be able to see, they should not choose this one. Okay, so this kind of things happens here. So let me choose default publisher. Okay, so this is what is called publisher. So version, as I said, that always use 10000 like this. So in order to enter version, you have to put like this. You press 1, then press tab on your keyboard once. As soon as I press tab, and you can see here now 1.0.0.0. Because this is first time I am creating this solution, I have put version 1.0.0.0. If I change if I do any change within the same solution, the next time it will automatically change to 1.0.0.1. Okay, so that is version number, because version means the first time is 1, second time is 2, third time is 3, is depending how many times you do changes. So that's the version. So configuration page you leave as it is, you don't have to enter. That is further, that is the advanced level, normally we don't need. So that's it. Installed on package type, you can see here unmanaged by default. Okay, so and then you save it. Okay, so it is saved, and you can see here demo solution. Okay, demo solution, display name you have given demo solution, and name, this name is also called a logical name. Okay, remember this one, logical name, which is used in the code. I told you, I think last time as well, logical name is used in the code, when you write C# code, that is used in the code, but display name is for user interface, for the client to see. So, and as you can see here now, at the moment the package type is unmanaged solution. Okay, so I want to change something, so I click on this. So I want to do some changes and do a lot of things and so on. So now I want to work. So you can create a new entity. Okay, example, you can create a new entity, or you can work on an existing item. Okay, what does it mean? Say example, you want to create a new entity, so that entity does not, we don't have here. Okay, so we don't have here that entity, so you want to create a new one, so you can create a new entity one. So entity, let me create a new entity, say example transaction. Okay, it's most of the organization, when you will work for CRM, you will see that most of the organization, you have to create this entity. Okay, everywhere this transaction entity is there. So display name is given, plural name you have to type. Okay, plural name is nothing but adding s to the end. Okay, that is the plural name. And name is the logical name, is automatically is added after new. You don't have to type. Primary image means if any entity, if you want to add, and that for that entity, if you want to add a picture, okay, you can add that. Okay, so but that this field we have to separately managed, okay, from the settings. So we'll discuss that primary image later on, but I'm just letting you know that you can add a picture for each entity what you will create. Color, you can also add a color, okay, for that entity, separate color, but again you just need to put hexadecimal number in order to see that change, but again that has to be changed in the settings as well. So we'll discuss that later on, but these are not mandatory though. Then you will see ownership. This is mandatory. Okay, these mandatory are important. So this non-mandatory, you can play around, but at the moment we will not concentrate on that. So ownership. Now, who is the owner? Ownership is user or team or organization. Now you can choose user or team, or you can choose organization as well. Now, what is user and team? User and team means this particular entity who will be able to see and who will be able to work on it. Is it general user or a particular team, or it is organizational wide, means everybody will be able to see. So if you want to assign this particular entity only to a specific user or to a specific team or department, then you assign ownership as a user or team. Okay, otherwise you put it under organization, so everyone will be able to see this. So we'll keep as normal like organization. We don't want to define it to particular user or what is called a team. Then next one is define as an activity entity. Now this particular transaction entity, would you like to define, means would you like to create it as a activity entity? Now what is activity entity? Activity entity you have seen before. If I go to here in sales, and if I go to contact, and as you can remember that there are so many activities are there. If I open any one, so these are the activities, right? So if you remember that activities, phone call, task, right, email, appointment, approval, booking alert, these are activities. So would you want to define that as an activity? If you, then click that. If you not, then keep it is unticked. Display in activity menus. Okay, would you like to display this particular entity in activity menus in here? Okay, so example, if I go to, say example, let's go to activity, and then I will show you here. Can you see this module? You go to activities, and you can see here how many types of activity. Email, it is an activity. Appointment, it is an activity. Phone call, it is an activity. Letter, activity. Fax, activity. Service, campaign, and so on and so forth, right? So would you like to add that entity is here? If you want that, then tick it. Okay, display in activity menus. If you don't want that, just it is by default. So say example, if you want to keep it is, say example, if you want to define it, okay, and it must be user mode. A custom entity defined as an activity. Okay, a custom entity defined as an activity must be user or team owned. Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically, if you want to, because I put initially this one as an organization, right? So when I put it in under organization, then you cannot have that activity organization wide. So if you want to keep it, if you want to make it as a activity, then you have to you have to give it to user or a particular team. Okay, you cannot have it under organization. Now when you will tick this one, then it will display in the activities. When you will untick this, it is not working at the moment. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this one. This is a sub settings. If you click this, then you see this becomes bold. So it means now it is displays in activities. If you untick this, then you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now areas that display this entity. Areas, so where this particular entity you want to show, under which module you want to show it under. Oh my goodness. Hello. Okay. So what we are saying basically, we stopped where I was here, right? Okay. Okay. So basically, ownership. Either you can choose user or team, or you can choose organization. But one thing is, remember, say example, if we want to have this entity as an activity entity, which if you remember, activity entity. If you go to sales, okay, then if you go to my work module and then activities, then you will see all activities: email, appointment, phone call, letter, etc., etc., right? So if you want to see that transaction entity as an activity entity, then you click that, then you click this, and if you click this, then automatically this will be clicked display in activity menus, so that would be automatically will appear here. If you don't want that as an activity entity, so that will automatically will be disabled. Now, one thing is, if you want to put it back into organization and if you want to make it as an activity entity, it will throw an error, JavaScript error. Okay, this is JavaScript. So it will throw an error. So what it is asking you, it is asking you when you will want to keep it as an activity entity, you want to change it to user and team. Okay, so yeah, so that is this. And then areas that display this entity. So where this particular transaction entity, where you want to keep this, under sales module, under service, under marketing, under field service, training, where project service, resource scheduling, settings, etc. So this is where you need to tick. So for example, I want to see transaction under sales, so I want to keep this, tick this. Oh, no, because I've ticked here, so I have to untick this. Then, because at the same time you cannot make this entity as an activity entity and as well as in the cells. Okay, so this is a totally different module. So either you keep it here or you keep it anywhere else. So I want to keep it under cells. Okay. Also, you can keep at the same time under sales or under service. Okay, so you can do more than one. So I want to keep that transaction under sales and service. Options for entity, enable for interactive experience. Would you like to would you like to show it for mobile experience? For example, if it is somebody wants to see it in your mobile, okay, that particular entity, you have to keep this one ticked, okay, otherwise it will not show. So business process flows fields will be created. Business process flow. So if you want to have business process flow under this entity, then you can have that. So what does it mean, business process flow? If you remember, if you go to opportunities, we have seen business process flow. So if I open any one of these, see, qualify, develop, propose, close. So these are the four stages. These from qualify to close, these four stages is called business process flow. So do you want to have this business process flow in your entity? If you want, then you just you click this. Okay, so I want to have business process flow. Okay, if not, then you untick. So communication and collaboration. So would you like to have a feedback field, or sub entity, or notes you want to have activities, you want to have connections, sending email option, mail merge option, document management. These are basically sub, not field, we call sub module. Okay, of not submodule, basically sub entity of these entities. OneNote integration, access teams, key use, knowledge management. Okay, so we want to see something. For example, we want to see notes, we want to see knowledge management, we want to see some activities. Okay, we want to see feedback. Okay, so you just take whatever you need. Then data services, allow quick create. Now this is another option. If you remember that we saw quick create options. For example, if you go here plus sign, if you click and then if you click do lead, okay, then you will see that the small window will come up here. Come on, it's so slow. So you can see here, this is a small window, right, with the small few fields only, not the full form of the field, but few fields of lead form. So that is called quick create option. Okay, so would you like to have this quick create option? If you say yes, then it will create for you. So allow quick create. Duplicate detection. So example, if you want to if you say example, Jolanta created transaction entity, and then has ticked this box, duplicate detection. Then Ruthira is creating, he is also a developer, and he doesn't know that Jolanta is creating this entity. So he wanted to create this entity, and if you don't tick this box, duplicate, if you don't tick this box, then what will happen is that both of them will be able to create the same entity. Okay, so there will be duplicate entities, obviously with duplicate fields and duplicate any components. But if you say duplicate detection, then as soon as it will check the same name appears, it will throw an JavaScript error, so showing that there is already a transaction entity exist in the CRM. So that is this for. So duplicate detection, then auditing, this entity will not be audited until auditing is enabled for the organization. So say example, this particular entity, if you want to say example, if you want to allow somebody else to modify this entity, then you can tick this box. If you don't want somebody else to change anything within this entity, then you need to tick this box, untick this box. If you click this, it means that somebody else will be able to audit, change the field, change modification he or she can do. If you untick this, then nobody will be able to change this. Change tracking. Okay, so this is tracking option. So if anybody change anything, the tracking option will be there. So 2 months before, say example, Ruthira has created this entity, and within 2 months before, then after that Ruthira has taken responsibility and she has changed something within this entity. After 2 months from holiday, Ruthira has come back and he has found so many changes. So Ruthira wanted to see that who changed these things, different things. Who changed this? Is it Ruthira, or is it Jolanta, or is it Jahid, or is it somebody else? So if you tick this, then all the whoever touched this particular entity and changed anything, it will be tracked. Okay, it will create a log. So any change, not only just open this entity and does nothing, that will not be tracked. If anything changed happen, then only it will be tracked. Then enable for phone express, this is Outlook and mobile. Okay, enable for mobile, read only in mobile, etc., etc. We don't need that, we are not dealing with that, so at the moment, temporarily, yeah, so we will not touch this at the moment. Reading pen in Dynamics 365 for Outlook, if you want to display that one in your Outlook, okay, in the reading pen, that option you can have. Okay, etc., etc. Use customer help, if you want to show it in help, you can have. So we don't need normally these things, but I'm just going through it for your understanding. But would normally nobody use these things until and unless there is an very important entity you are creating. Okay, so we'll save it. So it is creating an entity. Sometimes it takes time, so don't worry that sometime. But remember, always it is always suggested you use Internet Explorer for Microsoft Dynamics CRM, because Internet Explorer is the Microsoft one browser. So it is always suggested you use Microsoft, sorry, Internet Explorer. Otherwise, if you use Google Chrome, this is what I'm using now, and it is always, it may take long time to do this because it is not 100% supported by Google Chrome. Yeah, because Google is a different company, Microsoft is a different company, so they don't want to support each other. So always Microsoft is, that is why saying please use our browser, because which is 100% supporting our CRM. Google may not support everything. Okay, so that is why. So it's done. So it's save and close. Now you can go to your solution. You can see this is a new entity appear here, right? Now we need to, you need to okay, you need to we need to publish here. Can you see? So you need to tick this and then you click publish, because if you don't publish then that will still not appear. Even if you saved only already, still it will not be visible. So you published, is done. Now we need to refresh the page. CRM, you have to refresh always after changing anything. Okay, so now you go to sales. Now we will be able to see that sales and service we said, right? So can you find where is transaction? Yes, that is there. See here. So it is called under extension because all these different modules, okay, what you will add in addition to what we have. Say example, at the moment we have these modules, right? Mandatory modules. If you want, if you wanted to change this account to transaction, then transaction will come here. But because you added transaction as an addition to these modules, so it comes a separate one. Okay. So it's but still it is under sales. It is still under sales. Now, if you want to if you want to see it from service, you will be able to see that. See here transaction. So it is now under service. If you want to go to marketing, it is not here. If you go to field service, it is not here. If you go to project service, it is not here. Resource scheduling, it is not here. You will be able to see it only under sales, as an extension, and under service as an extension. But if you want to customize these accounts into transaction or contacts into transaction, then the extension will not be there. Transaction rather will be appear here. Okay, so this is, so now let's see if I click this. So this is a by default view. Okay, so you go here, there is no transaction at the moment, no active, no inactive. So click new one, and you can see here the form, we have the entity, we have created transaction, we haven't created any field, but we have, there is only by default is name, mandatory fields are there, name and owner. Okay, Adina Khan is the owner, means is this owner, and the name field, these are mandatory, and rest of, and these are, there are no other fields, right? Because those fields are not mandatory, what we have seen under accounts or sales. So how will you get those? So you have to either create them, okay, or just bring in that solution. Okay, so if we go back in our solution, sorry, this is a new solution, so go back here, go back settings, go to solution, open that demo solution. Okay, so in that transaction we need to open that one. Now you are in transaction entity, you go to fields, right? So these all fields are there, but what you have to do is you have to edit them. Okay, say example, let me show you. You have to go to main main form, main uh, yeah, we want to bring these fields in the form. Okay, sorry, we need to go to forms here. So you need to go to here, information. So I'm in form now, transaction entity form, and then I need to go to not mobile, not quick view. I need to go to main one. Okay, see here. Now this is now I'm in the what is called this transaction entity form, and in the form you can see I have only two fields, name and owner, right? And then there is no other field. That is why you can't see any field. But see, now I need to bring some fields here. Okay, so what I will do is custom fields is only name. Okay, all fields so created by, modified by, name, owner, etc. So I can, what you can do is I can bring those fields here. Okay, but not all of them here. For example, you want to create new fields. So you the fields I think I've showed you last time, but because of the time I will not show you today again. But you can create different types of mandatory and not mandatory fields from here. Okay, so from here you create different types of field. I will show you maybe next time again. So you create these fields, then those fields will appear here. Then you drop it down here, right? So, for example, you just take anyone. For example, status reason. So you see here status region is here. So when you create so many fields here, so they will appear here, and then you have to double click or bring it, drag and drop. Okay, so you drag and drop here, then they will be appearing here. Okay, so this is the way you can bring different fields here. These fields are here, you can bring these fields already here, there is no problem. But these are fields are automatically built. Okay, you can bring it here, but actually more importantly is that the form will be customized. Then these fields are important, but originally the client will need to see some other fields than these. So most of the cases what you have to do is, most of the cases you have to create new fields and bring it here. So that will be part of the form customization. We will see form customization next week. So we will create a new form, and we will customize everything, all these forms, because there are so many things to learn in the form. It will take one class itself. Because if we see here, change properties means the form properties. If you click here, you see, oh no, this is the field properties, this is status region. Because what is happening, the status region is ticked, you see here it is bold. So as soon as I click here, form properties is here, this one. See, if I click this form properties, so we have display parameters. Okay, we have non-event dependencies, events. We can add JavaScript here. I will show you some other more options here. What I wanted to show you is here. You can see this is basically form customization. This is the form itself, transaction entity. So you want to change it, you want to change the body itself, you want to add header, you want to add footer, navigation. Okay, you want to change the navigation, how it works, business rules, this is important, I will show you as well. Form properties, I want to show you something, I think it is here. uh, form libraries, not this one. uh, change insert. Oh, okay, here it is, insert. Okay, so basically here, this is what I will show you all of this next week. See here, at the moment you have one column here, two column here. So this is first column, this is second column. Under first column you have different section, 1 2 3. Under second column, there is only one section. So all of these, okay, can be changed, can be designed, your form according to your own wish. Three columns, okay, two columns this way, two columns this way, two columns the same size, one column only you want to have one column, okay, subgrid you want, okay, section you want this way, one is top, one is bottom, one is top, two more underneath. So all this design can be done. Iframe means the link, okay, you can add website link you can add in any one of the field, okay, notes you can add, Bing map you can add, social insights you can add, timer, knowledge base section, all of these is even more than one session. I think it will take two sessions. These are so many things you can do. So this is what we'll learn next week. So we will see form customization of the form. We will see the transaction form. So we will customize the whole form. We'll bring some fields as well and modify the whole entity form, and it will take 1 or 2 weeks. So we'll see that next week. So we'll stop it here today. If you have any question, you can ask me so far now from today's class. Yeah.